Welcome to the Ideal Investor Show. Join us on the journey to financial success. Let's go. Hello and welcome to another episode of the Ideal Investor Show. And I want to start out with a little bit of a reminder. If you haven't already, take the link at the description below and join us on Substack, because it's an awesome platform, much nicer, if you ask me, than most of the other social media platforms. And you get great content and all kinds of good free stuff. So today's episode is a little different because we normally, as investors, are not really on that side of the fence, so to speak. And that is the overall area of marketing and branding. But we are obviously recipients of marketing and branding. And so today the topic is, what should real estate agents do to build a brand in the context of being attractive to us as investors? And so there are, at least in my experience the last 15 years, quite a few real estate agents and brokers who claim that they're also serving investors. But what I found is, and I don't know if any one of them is listening maybe to today's episode, but what I'm finding is that they are seemingly make the assumption that what a regular person who wants to buy a house to move into would want is the same like what an investor would want. And that is really not the case. So one of the things in the branding that I would strongly recommend to any real estate agents or people who consider becoming real estate agents is to make a clear distinction. Now, some of you might say, well, can I really live off just serving investors? And I think the answer is yes. And the reason for that is, look at our approach with our out-of-state turnkey investors. If we had agents who work with multiple turnkey providers and contractors and flippers and so forth, and I know everybody is a little bit like, okay, well, then that generates fees. True, it does. I mean, the agents and brokers need to live off something, but the service that could be provided is really targeted. Right? Because if you really think about what does a regular real estate agent do when you either contact them or you find a listing on Zillow or Realtor.com or so forth that looks interesting and you contact the agent. They basically get in touch with you and ask you, what exactly are you looking for? Tell me as many of the things as possible that would help me to find the perfect house for you. And then you tell them all those details, and then they go out and try to find as perfect a match as possible. Well, guess what? We have a long list of criteria that I just wrote a pretty lengthy article about on Substack, by the way, to show we did some research, or I did some research, and found 76 different criteria or areas to look into that all inform a good purchase for a cash flow property. Now, that doesn't mean that there aren't more than that, but those are the ones that I found or that we have applied with our clients. Now, if you turn that around and you're a real estate agent or broker specializing on serving investors, and you would be able to anticipate those 76 areas and provide something, for example, in an online forum that says, okay, this property hits on 52 of 76 criteria we regularly check for. That would really distinguish you. And obviously, investors would love to have somebody like an agent or broker do all that work up front rather than us as investors having to do it ourselves. So there are great opportunities, but my plea to anybody listening in the real estate agent and brokerage community would be, specialize on something and don't be afraid. If you say, I want to serve people who are looking for their next home, that's perfectly fine. Don't forget there's this other community that we are part of, which is people who are investors who find and want to find high-performing properties for the main purpose of cash flow. And there is, by the way, also a community, not necessarily ours, who look for high-performing properties in the area of appreciation as investors. So that's it for today. Be well and stay safe. And I hope that was inspiring for you. And don't forget, come and join us on Substack and get all those awesome benefits.